Level 1, the auditor. You're 26 years old. You passed your CPA exam on the second try. You work at a mid-tier firm in El Paso doing tax returns for dentists and real estate developers. The pay is okay. The work is mind-numbing. Your cubicle smells like burnt coffee and someone else's lunch. Then a client walks in. His name is on a strip mall LLC. He owns 3 car washes. He needs help with quarterly filings. Simple stuff. He pays cash, double your hourly rate. You don't ask questions. The next month, he brings a friend, another LLC, another cash payment, then another. You're good at what you do. Clean books, no red flags. They keep coming back. 6 months in, you're clearing an extra $4,000 a month. You buy a nicer car. You move out of your apartment. You tell yourself this is just aggressive tax optimization. Everybody does it. One of them finally says it out loud. We need someone we can trust. Someone smart. Full-time. The offer is $12,000 a month. Cash. You say yes before you realize what you're actually saying yes to. Level 2, the washer. You work out of a back office in a tire shop. There are 3 computers, a printer, and a shredder that runs constantly. Your job is simple. Make dirty money clean. You set up shell companies in Delaware, Wyoming, Nevada. You open business bank accounts. You create invoices for services never rendered. Consulting fees, marketing campaigns, graphic design work. You learn the terminology fast. Structuring, layering, integration, smurfing. You break large sums into deposits just under $10,000 to avoid currency transaction reports. You move money through a dozen accounts before it lands somewhere legitimate, a furniture store, a trucking company, a nightclub. You're good at it. Better than the guy before you. They tell you he got sloppy. You don't ask what happened to him. The numbers get bigger. That $50,000 a week becomes $200,000. You're juggling 40 different entities. You know which banks ask questions and which ones don't. You know which notaries will backdate documents for $200. You've memorized the BSA regulations better than the compliance officers at most regional banks. You still think of yourself as an accountant, just one with unusual clients. Level 3, the treasurer. You move to a house in the suburbs, gated community. The neighbors think you do financial consulting. You do, technically. You're managing the operational budget for a distribution network that moves $18 million a month through Arizona, New Mexico, and West Texas. You have a staff now. 3 clerks who don't ask questions. They process transactions, reconcile accounts, track expenses, payroll for drivers, fuel costs, warehouse leases, bribes, which you categorize as consulting fees in your ledgers. You run it like a legitimate business because in your spreadsheets, it is. You implement cost controls, you identify inefficiencies, you notice one route is bleeding money on fuel, and you optimize it. You save the organization $40,000 a month. Your boss, you don't call him that, but that's what he is, gives you a Rolex. You meet with him every week. A restaurant, always different. He orders for both of you. You bring printouts, revenue, expenses, profit, margins broken down by region and product line. He reads them carefully. He asks good questions. He treats you with respect. You've stopped thinking about the product. It's just units moving through channels, supply chain management, logistics, numbers on a screen. Level 4, the architect. You're designing the financial infrastructure for expansion. New territory means new problems. You set up international accounts, Belize, Panama, the Cayman Islands. You learn correspondent banking. You understand how SWIFT codes work. You find banks in countries with weak anti-money laundering enforcement. You use trade-based laundering now. You create fake import-export businesses, overvalue shipments of textiles from Mexico, undervalue electronics going the other direction. The money moves through invoices, letters of credit, bills of lading. It looks completely legitimate on paper because you've made it legitimate on paper. You hire a lawyer in Miami who specializes in offshore entities. He doesn't ask what the money is from. His fee is $30,000 and he's worth every penny. You establish trusts in the Cook Islands. You layer ownership through nominees in 3 countries. Even if law enforcement finds the accounts, they'll never prove who controls them. You're moving $8 million a month offshore now. Your cut is $15,000. You have a retirement account, a legitimate one. You're maxing out your IRA contributions. The irony isn't lost on you. You see a news report about a DEA bust. They seized $4 million in cash from a stash house. You did the math in your head immediately. That's 11 days of revenue for your operation. Barely a blip. Level 5. You don't just clean money anymore. You advise on it. Where to invest, how to diversify. You recommend real estate purchases through LLCs, strip malls, apartment buildings, car dealerships, legitimate businesses that generate legitimate income and provide cover for everything else. You attend closings, you wear a suit, you shake hands with title company representatives and real estate agents, you wire funds from accounts in the names of corporations that exist only on paper. Everyone thinks you're a successful investor. You've created a portfolio worth $40 million, hotels, restaurants, a chain of check cashing stores, which is perfect because they handle cash transactions all day. You've turned criminal proceeds into appreciating assets that generate tax returns and auditable income. You have accountants working under you now, real ones with credentials. They don't know where the money comes from. They just know you pay well and the work is steady. You've built a legitimate financial services firm as a front. You have business cards, a website, a receptionist. The FBI has economic crimes units. You know this. You've studied their methods. You know they follow the money, so you've made the money impossible to follow. 20 shell companies deep, jurisdictions that don't cooperate with US law enforcement, encrypted communications. You don't use email. You don't use phones that can be traced. You're careful. You're smart. You tell yourself that's why you're still free. Level 6, the consultant. You're meeting with people from other organizations now. A Colombian group needs help moving money through Europe. A trafficking network wants to purchase a shipping company. They've heard about you. Your reputation has spread. The best financial mind in the business, the one who never gets caught. You charge consultation fees, $50,000 for a weekend of your time. You'll analyze their current structure, identify vulnerabilities, propose solutions. You've become the criminal underworld's McKinsey. You travel now, Mexico City, Medellin, Vancouver, always first class, always 5-star hotels. You meet in private rooms, restaurants with no security cameras. You bring nothing in writing. Everything is in your head. You've memorized encryption protocols. You use cryptocurrency now, but carefully. You know the blockchain is public. You run transactions through mixers, tumblers, cross-chain bridges. You convert to privacy coins, Monero, Zcash. You cash out through peer-to-peer exchanges in countries that don't require KYC verification. You're 34 years old. You have $11 million in assets you can't touch because touching them means explaining them. You live well, but not too well. You drive a nice car, but not a supercar. You own a house, but not a mansion. You've learned that attracting attention is the only real mistake. Level 7, your name appears in a sealed federal indictment. You don't know this yet. The FBI has been building a case for 2 years. Financial transactions, surveillance photos, wiretaps on people you've met with. They've connected you to 14 different criminal organizations across 6 countries. They raided your office, they seized your computers, but you expected this. Everything is encrypted with keys they'll never break. Your real records are kept in your head or on hardware wallets they don't know exist. The physical ledgers they find are decoys, real enough to look legitimate, useless for prosecution. You're gone before they come to your house. You had 3 exit strategies planned: fake passports, cash buried in locations across 2 countries, contacts who can move you anywhere for the right price. You're in Guadalajara, you've shaved your head, lost 30 pounds, changed everything about the way you look. You rent an apartment under a name that isn't yours. You pay cash. You don't have a phone. You don't use the internet, but you're still working. Like, your expertise is too valuable. You meet clients in person. Different city every time. You've restructured your operations to work remotely through cutouts. You send instructions through encrypted dead drops, digital ones that auto-delete after being read once. The FBI has you on their 10 most wanted list now. There's a $5 million reward. Your photo is everywhere, but it's an old photo. You don't look like that anymore. Level 8, Yas, the ghost. You've been running for 3 years. You've lived in 7 countries. You've had 6 different faces through plastic surgery, minor changes, nose, chin, cheekbones, enough to break facial recognition. You still work. Your services are too valuable to stop. You've helped move over $2 billion at this point. Your fee is 1%. You've accumulated more money than you can spend in 5 lifetimes, and you can't spend any of it without risk. You live modestly, small apartments, basic clothes, you eat street food, you take buses. The only luxury you allow yourself is books. You read constantly history, philosophy, fiction. It's the only thing that keeps you sane. You've lost everyone. You can't contact family, can't maintain friendships. Every person you knew in your old life is either gone or compromised. The loneliness is physical. It sits in your chest like a weight. You think about surrendering sometimes. Late at night, when the isolation becomes unbearable, you could walk into an embassy, make a deal, but you know the math. The charges you're facing add up to life plus 60 years. There's no deal good enough. So you keep running, keep working, keep changing faces and names and cities. You're the best at what you do. And what you do has made you a prisoner. Level 9, the math. You're 42 years old. You're sitting in a cafe in Bucharest. You've just finished restructuring the financial operations for an organization moving $30 million a month. You'll never meet them in person. You'll never know their names. You communicated entirely through encrypted channels and dead drops. You've reduced their exposure by 40%, eliminated redundancies, optimized their cash flow, increased their operational security. It's elegant work, beautiful even. You've turned money laundering into an art form, and you realize you feel nothing. No pride, no satisfaction, just the hollow awareness that you're extremely good at something that's destroyed your entire life. You think about the auditor, the kid in El Paso who said yes to a cash payment 7 years ago. You want to tell him something. You want to warn him, but you can't because that kid is gone. He stopped existing the moment he stopped asking questions. The FBI is still looking for you. The reward is 10 million now. You're a legend in certain circles. The ghost who's never been caught. The accountant who outsmarted entire governments. You're also completely alone. You have no one. You will die alone, probably in a country whose language you don't speak, under a name that isn't yours, with no one to claim your body. Level 10, the applicant. She's 26 years old. She passed her CPA exam on the second try. She works at a mid-tier firm in El Paso, doing tax returns for dentists and real estate developers. The pay is okay. The work is mind-numbing. Then a client walks in. He needs help with quarterly filings. Simple stuff. He offers to pay cash. Double her hourly rate. She doesn't ask questions. She says yes.